I want to share with you my journey with the song The Great Southland, and there is another song that's specifically written for Aboriginal people that I'd like to share with you first. It's called Eden's Lonely Child, and I can be incredibly opinionated. When you're always right, it's easy to be opinionated. But I remember sitting down watching television one morning, and in those days Alan Jones, that paragon of equality, was speaking about the stolen generation, and he was saying almost time and time again in his 5-minute slot, there is no stolen generation. Where is the stolen generation? Show me where they are. There's no such thing as the stolen generation. And I got really quite upset because for me, the more and more I see the sufferings of Christ, the more and more I see the challenge for us as a church to equate with the sufferings of others. My favourite Bible verse is, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." It's really funny because I spent so much time as a Christian trying to be rich in spirit and the place that I represented at the time. But it was my spiritual poverty that made me aware that the kingdom of heaven comes by grace, by a gift, not by climbing a spiritual ladder or reaching up and bringing it down. And so the stolen generation and the history of this extraordinary Aboriginal nation grips me. And only lately I have suddenly realised that we live by their grace. If the Aboriginal people were warlike, like the Maori in New Zealand, especially when you think that the first fleet nearly starved, which I find really quite funny when the Aboriginal people were living off the fat of the land, and there's this sophisticated culture starving. But if they were a warlike people, then our history would be entirely different. And so this song is simply around the question, who am I? My family, maybe a decade or so ago, sought to find its heritage. They never really did, because my father hid all the files. But I find it funny that us white Anglo-Saxon people, and all of us, multicoloured, multiracial, multinational people, where we can seek out our ancestors and yet deny it to Aboriginal brothers and sisters. This is called Eden's Lonely Child.
Mother's daughter's cherished child. Who am I? A father's son, his strength and pride. Inside of me, a story fails to tell its tale. Alone am I. I'm Zeden's lonely child. Look beneath my coloured frame. Who am I? Now that history's lost my name, I walk alone, and even Adam's empty past, the garden's gone. Eden's lonely child. And yet these parish books are full of fathers and their sons, passengers and ships who sailed across the seas. But why is Eden's child outside the garden walls, her heritage unknown? the forest gone. I'm Eden's banished child, and yet the parish books are full of fathers and their sons, passengers and ships who sailed across the seas. But why is Eden's child outside the garden walls, her heritage unknown? Has terra australis become terra nullis, this nation with no past? Who am I am this land's forgotten child. Who am I? Why must my pain be so reviled? Our broken past, we all must own this nation's pain. The garden's ours, and all are Eden's child. The garden's ours, and all are Eden's child. The garden's ours, and all are Eden's child. So who